Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. We've got a interesting topic today that comes from a question I received from a subscriber. Specifically, the question is, how important is water temps? And I really feel really mixed on this topic because there's a big part of me that says water temps are extremely important, and then there's part of me that says that they are very much overrated. So let me explain what I mean by that. Early in the year, like I'm talking coming out of winter, moving into pre-spawn period, I personally believe that water temperatures are critical in identifying good fish holding locations. And this varies a little bit from body of water to body of water. But I can tell you specifically, if you're talking about currented areas or big, deep, clear bodies of water, that as soon as you move from winter into a warming trend into the spring, that both largemouth and smallmouth and spotted bass will look for areas that have significantly warmer water. On the Mississippi River, for example, you can find them, like they'll be back in the way extreme backwaters in a foot of water with dark bottoms, because that water is potentially 10, 15 degrees warmer than main river water. You find this all over the place on different bodies of water, whether they're highland reservoirs or natural deep clear lakes, or, bodies of water that are just kind of in between Tennessee TVA lakes. You'll find that when you go from really extreme cold water, when you're in that water temperature range that's the coldest water for the year, when you start moving up and you get some warm weather days, it's not uncommon to see really big populations of fish move way back into some extremely shallow areas that have significantly higher water temperatures. And a lot of times those areas are not good fish holding locations the rest of the year. But coming out of winter, it can be, some gangbuster fishing if you can find some of these locations that have a little bit warmer water temperatures. Other than this time period, I can't say that I'm a huge fan of water temperature. I do think there's times when you're at the peak summer range when it's kind of the opposite. If you can find cooler water temperature, say if, a main lake is 90 degrees, if you can find some natural springs or where you've got a creek coming in that's got cooler water that's more in that 70, or 80 degree range, I have found that a lot of times fish will gravitate to that cooler water to get away from some of that extremely high water temperatures. And a lot of that just has to do with metabolism rate. When those fish are in 90 degree water temperatures, they have to eat and expel significantly more energy just to live in those higher water temp ranges. When if they move to cooler water temps, they don't need to expel the same amount of energy. So, water temps are critical in identifying fish movements at certain times of the year. The rest of the year, other than that moving into the early part of pre-spawn or in the middle part of summer, I'm not a huge fan of water temperature. I think for a couple of reasons. One is I don't think you have the same drastic changes in water temperature, meaning in the fall or during the spawn period, most of the water in the lake is going to be within a few degree range. You're not going to have these drastic spreads when it comes to water temp like you will really early in the year or at extremely warm times of the year. You might have a 15 or 20 degree difference from what the main river is on the Mississippi River to a far backwater, and that's enough of a temperature change to draw those fish to that. During the rest of the part of the year, you might have a 5-degree temperature difference. So in my opinion, that's not enough to really draw a big population of fish to some of those areas. I don't personally believe that they're going to swim out of their way to find water that's a few degrees different. So, I think it's something you want to watch early in the year and, maybe during the extreme heat of the summer. But the rest of the year, it's not going to be that big of a difference. If you're talking about natural deep lakes, a lot of times there's not that much water temperature difference throughout the lake as a whole anyways. And if you're looking for areas that have cooler water, a lot of the times it's not about finding, a backwater or creek. It's the fish are going to move vertical. So, in the summer, if you've got 85, 90-degree water temps, those fish, if they're looking for cooler temperature, are going to slide deeper in the water column where they might find 70-degree temperatures. And in order for them to do that, they don't need to move that far. I mean, you could be talking about them going from, 15 feet above them from the surface down to 15 feet deep. That's how much of a difference you can have in water temperature just, in a little bit of range. So again, those fish, if they want cooler water in that scenario, do not need to swim far. I mean, literally, you're talking about dropping 15 or 20 feet just in the water column. So, most of the year, they don't need to go far in order to find those temperature differences. So I don't think it's all that important. But there are critical times early in the year and during the summer months when water temperature can come into play. And you guys want to make sure that you're looking for, or not even necessarily looking for it, you want to be aware of what the water temperatures are. But don't plan your day around just trying to find the best water temperature. There's very few instances I can think of where, water temperature is the biggest factor that's going. So that's my input, guys. Don't put too much emphasis on water temperature, but you want to be aware of it. So, when we're moving into the spring here, guys, this is the one time of year where I really feel like it can come into play. So next time you go out, if it is a nice, warm, sunny day coming off some of these cold periods that we've had, if you can find an area that's got, 10, 15 degree water temperature, it's worth looking. It's worth looking into and trying. So, guys, give that a try next time you go out. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. If you've got some additional comments you want to add, throw those in the comment section. And if you have not subscribed yet to the channel, please do that. We got videos that come out every day at the moment and have lots of good tips and information coming out. So I appreciate each and every one of you that are watching. Stay tuned. Lots more coming.